Two. There we go. The Spurs player ratings. We'll do this quick fire. Join in with us, everybody. This should be fun. By the way, join in, but please do smash the subscribe button. Can we get 7 or 8 more before the end of the show in 10 minutes? And here we go. Rob Franklin said, enjoying your balanced views today. Big up you two. Thank you, Rob. Listen, I always try and be balanced. I try my best because I think otherwise you end up being like these people who keep going on the football terrace and the Big Six and stuff and saying, we're going to win a league. And every other fan base goes, no, you're not. So thank you so much, Rob Frank. Right. Spurs player ratings. Perchy, are you on mute?
Apologies, I was on mute there.
Yes, we know.
We're gonna,
either that or you were just mumbling.
We're going to do Spurs player ratings. And guys in the chat, whack in your ratings as we go player by player. Oh, you've gone too soon. I already had it ready. Vicario, what are we saying? 7?
Big Vic, what are you going for? Perchy?
I'm going 7 as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 6.5, 7. I do feel that there was a lot of times today where his passing out the back was very suspect. Some of his long balls out the back were going straight out for throw-ins. I didn't think he had too much to do. I'll give him a 7. I think I'm comfortable with a 7.
Okay. Everyone in the chat, whack in yours quickly. We'll do that. And we'll do it player by player. I'm going 7 as well. I think, again, some of his misplaced passes today weren't great. He made a couple of good saves as well, though. So I think a 7 is fair. Let's move to right back with Pedro Porro. What do you think, mate?
I'm going to give Pedro Porro a 5. I don't think he can defend. I think Pedro Porro is very effective, as we saw for the goal. He's very effective as offensive right back. As a defensive right back, it's night and day. In the first half, Bellegarde had a lot of time to run at him. We saw against Palace, they targeted him. Sterling targeted him. I think a 5. I think he cannot defend. I'd like to see him higher on the pitch.
I would have gone 4, but I'll give him an extra point for his assist. I thought he did well for that, so I'll say 5 as well on that one. Moving along the back line to Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer, I'll give him a 6.5. I thought first half he was dreadful and the ball was being played. I think first half we played a bit of a higher line, not high, but a bit higher, and every ball went in between him and Porro. And I thought he got taken out. I thought in the second half, couple of last-ditch tackles, couple of good bits in the air, but ultimately he's just not good enough. He's just not good enough on the ball. I'll go over 6.
See, I'm going 5 for him. I thought he was poor first half. I thought he made countless mistakes. Wasn't really in it. Wasn't great at all. You could tell he looked like a real rusty football player that hasn't played a lot of football. You could tell that from straight away. And also, we'll move on to his defensive partner of Ben Davies.
I'd give him an 8. I thought Ben Davies was a lot of tackles in the first half where he just came over, cleared up the danger. I thought he showed his experience. Second half, again, I thought he was the best of the back four by a mile. So I'll give him an 8. But long term, I think you've got to see both of Dyer and Davies. If they're both, if one of them is even at Tottenham this time next season, you've got to ask questions. But I'd give him an 8. He was my man of the match from a Spurs perspective.
Yeah, I would have gone 8 as well. I thought he was the best player on the pitch. Agreed. He was the best player on the pitch. I agree also with you, what you're saying in the sense of we need to get rid of him. I don't think he's good enough, but credit where credit's due sort of thing. I thought he was the best player today defensively, and looked very good in that sense. But not long term. The makeshift left back in Emerson Royale. What are you saying there, mate?
He is the biggest enigma in the world. He does some very good bits, followed by terrible bits. You know, it's like he does the hard work and almost celebrates it before he's actually finished mopping up. Like he'll mop up the ball and then he'll pass and give it away, and you're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" A 6. I thought he did some okay things. Silly yellow cards. Another one that falls into the bracket for me, just not good enough. He's just not good enough to be at Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, that's what I would have gone 5.5. I thought all the stuff he was good at today, I felt like only because of his mistakes. He did some good bits, but it was all coming from his own mistakes. So we have to put that, for me, that's how I would see it. I thought a lot of those mistakes he made were all because of his own doing, and he was mopping up his own problems. But yeah, another one of those football players that for me needs to go, not great. Player that gets a lot of love in, but Pap Sarr, what did you think of him today?
I've said for a while now. By the way, anyone asking, I'll go over that. Papa Sarr, for me, I think I've been quite disappointed for a number of games. I feel for him. He's a 20-year-old lad, hasn't had a lot of football over the last 2 years. He's chucked straight in and he's playing every game, 90 minutes. I thought he struggled. I thought I think when the passing is safe, I think he's good. I think when he has to think about it, I think it's rushed. No composure today. 5 for me. I thought he was okay. He was okay.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, I would have gone 6, but I thought he wasn't great today. I thought our midfield was relatively one of the worst positions on the pitch. So yeah, I mean, I'm giving him a 6 because I thought he did work, but not enough for me.
Yeah.
Not great. But I agree. I don't think he's been great for a very long. Hasn't been amazing for a while.
He works hard, right? One thing you could say is he always works hard in a game. I do think he's another one of these players that has had so much smoke blown up their backside far too quickly. He's a good young player that needs time to develop, that needs time to grow. But straight away, people have put him into, what is it? Yaya Sartoure. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, all of that kind of, he's a good player. For me, I would probably not play him the next game and mix it up a bit. I think we need to mix up that midfield. It's looking predictable.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'll put you next to his midfield partner in Yves Bissouma, a player that I'm massively fond of, but I think has fallen off for the last few games. What do you think of him today?
5. I think he's fallen off a cliff. He was. Let's be fair. This all started with Luton. He was terrible against Luton. To be honest, I started seeing in the Liverpool game a lot of scrappy, sloppy passes, giving the ball away a lot for turnovers. Then Luton, he got the red card. Then suspended. Then when he came back against Palace, I thought he was really poor. Then against Chelsea the other night, again, sloppy, looked scared to go over tackles. And today, yellow card, looked sloppy, a couple of good turns of pace in the second half. But for me, looking very ordinary again. 5.
Yeah, I agree with you on the 5. And I think this is one of the reasons when you mentioned about not starting Sarr, Sarr's going to have to start because Basuma is going to miss Villa. He's got a book in here, he'll miss the Villa game. So where we say about shaking up, we're going to have to. I think the midfield's going to probably be Sarr, Højbjerg and Lo Celso most likely against Aston Villa because Basuma suspended. And I agree, 5. Another player that I thought started the season really well, and I agree, the last few games not good enough. And do you know what? He's one of those football players at the moment. He needs to really stop getting booked. His disciplinary record in the first start of the season not good enough. And we're going to keep losing him to suspensions because he keeps mounting bookings up. But yeah, 5 for me. I think he needs a lot better needs to come from Basuma. Højbjerg came in today for this injured James Maddison. How do you think he fared today?
Same as the other 2. 5. He can't run. He's sloppy with the ball. Again, he's another one. Does something good defensively. And then just the lack of passing ability, sloppy passing out the back, gets caught way too easily on the ball, dilly-dallying. Look, we all know, I've said for years, this guy was a makeshift centre mid that's now been here for 4 years. And it's kind of like, I think it was poor. I thought all the midfield 3 today were poor, if I'm brutally honest. I'll give them all a 5. There you go. All the midfield 3 are 5. I thought he was really poor.
Yeah, I would say a 5.5. I think he was better than Basuma. I thought Sarr was probably the better one of the 3 in a sense. But in that order. Yeah, not good enough. A football player that I don't want at this football club any longer. He's not good enough. But yeah, I mean, it was just. I thought that midfield was absolutely awful for me today. Awful. But yeah, well, I think that's probably the best we can move quickly on to. Played out on the left. Brennan Johnson today scored his first goal for the club. What did you think, mate?
This is one of those ones where lots of people will let a goal rule the performance. A 6. And a 6 because he scored. Right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, again, too many times you're thinking, run at your man, cut inside. Too many wayward passes inside that didn't go. Like, I feel like when we're judging players, everyone forgets how easily players give the ball away. And he's another one. He kept cutting inside, and the number of passes that went inside. I feel sorry for him. I think Ange has got it wrong with this guy. I think this guy should be flying down our right wing, causing left backs problems. I know it's not popular, but I think this guy should be on the right wing, causing us problems. We've bought a right winger for 47 million or whatever, and we're playing him on the left wing because he never, ever, 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 ever moves Kulu. For me,
we'll get on Kulu. We'll get on Kulu after this. I'm going 6.5. I thought he. And kind of sort of slightly echoing what you were saying, I thought, gave the ball away a lot. The cutting inside thing, I equate what you say, agree with it in the sense of cutting inside, but he feels like he has to. He looks very unnatural on the left. He doesn't look comfortable on the left, and you can tell that from a mile off. I want to see this guy playing out on that right-hand side, attacking it, because I think there's a player there. I genuinely think there's a player there. But I think the manager is not allowing him to play on the right because he loves Kulu. I think the manager has a real thing for Kulu, and I don't know why. I think you need to see Johnson running at left backs. I'll say 6.5, but I want to see more from him. But I want to see more of him out on the right because I want to see this. I want to see what this king can do on the right hand side.
Can we caveat this? I feel sorry for him. You know, he came in, got injured. Then he came in, substituted because we went down to 10 men. For me, I'd like to see 5 to 10 games with Brennan Johnson, right wing, so I can really judge him. Because at the moment, I'm seeing bit part. He did well for the goal. Getting in the right space for the goal was good. But again, I've said we'll talk about this more tomorrow night on the Spurs review. I just don't think the front three works for me. It doesn't work.
No. I agree. We'll move on to Kulusevski. What did you think of him, mate? Because this is going to be fiery.
No, it's not. It's not going to be fiery, Perchy. It's not at all. I think Kulusevski, the back heel that set up Porro for the goal was nice.
Yep.
After that, he may have been sitting with me and you. After that, it is eat, sleep, repeat. Eat, sleep, repeat. Eat, sleep, repeat. Gets the ball, loads of grass to run into, cuts inside after taking 10, 12, 13 touches.
Yeah.
There were times in that half where you're thinking, have a drive with your right foot. Have a shot. No. Cut inside, lay it back. Cut inside. It's becoming boring watching him. If I'm honest, I'm bored watching him. He keeps getting excuses made for him. Yes, he works hard, but boy, does he look, I don't know. He looks so bang average as a footballer right now. He really, really does.
What did you rate him at?
Oh, yeah. 5.5, because I like the flick. So I'll give him a half point for that.
I'm going 5. I thought today, and the reason why I think the flick was great, but the reason why I'm saying 5 on this is if he does something better in the opportunities he has, we win the game of football today.
I agree.
Twice he's beaten his man, and we're 2 on 2 against their defenders. He whips the ball across goal, we score from him, or we get an opportunity. No, he slows it up, they get back in order, and then we lose the momentum. For me, I thought he was awful today. But if it wasn't for that little flick today, I think people would have been like, nah, he's rubbish. For me, not good enough for me, not good enough. And that's what I want to say for that. And we're going to move straight on to the man down the middle, the non-existent man, in my opinion, Heung-min Son. Tell me.
4. whether this was by his fault or by people not playing him in, I thought again another game where your captain was absolutely anonymous. Listen, the thing is with Sonny, we know he's deadly through on goal. Deadly. When he's not deadly through on goal, what are you getting? Yeah,
Yep.
like you look today, right? I didn't even think they were that good, but you look at players like Hwang and Cunha up the top there, not deadly through on goal, but they're offering you, they're driving with the ball, they're getting in the position. I don't know. Son for me didn't do it. It didn't do anything that makes me go that more than a 4 or 5. I don't know, 5. I'll give him a 5 because he didn't do anything wrong, but he just didn't do anything. I'll give him a 5 like most of the others. I don't know. We've got to find a way of getting him into those games. And again, for me, I'll come back to this, Perchy. When both your wingers don't want to beat a man and whip the ball in, you're nullifying Son's game. Son needs to be in the box, receiving the ball. And at the moment, we saw today that he had to pull out wide a lot, and they nullified that wing. So, look, really disappointing. I thought it was disappointing for Chelsea, but obviously under different circumstances. And what we're seeing this year already, sorry to go on, what we're seeing this year already with Son is, again, either bags a couple of goals in a game or does nothing in a game. And there's no in between. Which one are you going to get each game? So I don't know.
And you may have given him a 5. I'm giving him a 4. Listen, and a reason why I give him a 4 because he's the leader. He's the talisman. We played with 10 men today without him. We didn't get anyone sent off, but we might as well have. He did nothing. I don't think he offered anything today. I thought he was awful. It had the hallmarks. Remember when we had all those moments with Harry Kane, everyone went, oh, Harry Kane's not in the game. But what you would see with Harry Kane is he'd go, do you know what? If I'm not in the game, I'm going to offer something somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm going to drop deep, get the ball, create. And
Son didn't do any of that for me. And if you're not in the game, and this is the difference between good players and great players. Great players will go, do you know what? I'm going to grab this game by the scruff of the neck, and I'm going to try and force it. We used to have this with Harry Kane going, it's like he's trying to overplay sometimes because he's doing all he can to get in the game. I felt Son was non-existent for me. And for me, that's a 4. I don't think he was good enough today. I think I don't want to see a lot more against Villa because he's going to be needed for me. Yeah. Needed against Villa. And we'll roll on quickly to the substitutes. We had Bentancur. What did you think when he came on?
Yeah, I think Bentancur, he came in and showed some nice little touches, nice little passes, gave the ball away a little bit. But look, I'm not going to judge Bentancur at the moment. He's 10 months out injured. I'm just glad that we're seeing him. I'm just glad that he's getting minutes under his belt. But already what you can see is the quality from the moment he comes on in terms of being able to put his foot on the ball and play. Yeah. Højbjerg, Sarr, and Basuma just don't have that.
Agreed. What did you give him a rating?
I think it's a bit harsh to give him a rating. 6, 5. I don't know. Hard. I don't think he was on long enough to really make anything happen.
I agree. I would have given him a 6 as well. I thought he was okay. He came up. What he did though show is that I feel like he has to start against Villa no matter what. I think the midfield 3's got to be. It's probably going to be Sarr, Højbjerg. I did say Sarr, Højbjerg, and Celso, but I think Bentancur has to get into that team. For me, if he's going to play against Villa, I think he might have to go Sarr, Bentancur, Lo Celso probably.
I would mix it up, mate. I'd
change it up a bit.
Change it up. Look, Basuma can't play. Get Sarr. Even if you have to go Højbjerg, Bentancur, Lo Celso, see what they can do. Something different. Yeah. I think we're becoming very predictable and very stagnant in the way we go forward. I think we're becoming very, very easy.
Agreed.
I think it's only the fact that we've played some poor teams in there while we've got so many wins. Sorry.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just to sort of wrap up, because we didn't see much on, but Lo Celso came on for a few minutes. What would you say? Quick words on him.
I think Lo Celso comes on, shows some tenacity. At least he had a dig from 20 yards that was tipped over the bar. Saw a little bit more from him than we saw from the other 3 midfielders. So,
agreed.
Listen, for me, I would get him in now. I would get him in on whenever we play. I thought it was ages now.
Next weekend,
Yeah.
Oh, because next weekend's international break.
So the weekend after, I would get him in.
Yeah, agreed. I'd give him a 6 as well, 6 or 7. I thought he came on and looked a little bit sharp. For me, and just we'll see because we can't really judge it. And the same really with Brian Hill. We'll just wrap that quick one up on that as well, mate. What do you think?
Yeah, look, Brian Hill. I don't think he had enough time on in the game. He had a couple of touches, fouled a couple of times, gave it away a couple of times. Really difficult when Brian Hill only ever gets a few minutes here or there. Very difficult to judge him. But again, is he going to be the type of player we need? I'll be surprised if he's a Spurs player next season.
I agree. I think we need to see a little bit. We need to see more from him, but we doesn't really get an opportunity. He doesn't really come on the pitch anymore. So yeah, another one. I'll give it 5 because you can't really judge it. But I think it's harsh to judge it because he only saw a few minutes.